quote unquote Kavod Liach Kadosh Israel. Hallelujah. So today's topic is, does wearing culture matter today? And I'll be making an argument for yes, and I'll be making an argument for no. So let's start with yes. Does wearing culture matter today? I would say yes. It's a representation of who you are. You see Indians that look like Indians wearing Indian culture. You see Muslims wearing Muslim culture. You even see, European wearing European culture, Japanese, Chinese. Everybody got their significant jersey that says, I play for this team. And I think it's a way of showing I'm proud to be playing for this team. It's why it's marketing at its finest. It's branding at its finest. Where you see people and you go, okay, those are Chicago Bulls, that's, Real Madrid, that's whatever polo team, swim team, whatever. You play for a specific group and you show like, hey, I play for this team. And your wearing culture is a way of saying like, hey, don't mistake me for that. And it's a way of garnering respect in a certain field. When you see Muslims wearing traditional Muslim wear, you don't think, oh, must be a Christian. You don't think that. And there's also certain attributes that you attribute to this specific wear. When you see Japanese wearing Japanese, cultural wear, that there's honor, there's respect. There's also a little bit of shame in people who aren't wearing a culture, who aren't, showing, hey, this is who I am, this is where I come from. There's some significance to be had in wearing culture and showing representation of this is where I'm from. And when you see this, here's what you should think of. It's when you see an Apple on the back of an iPhone, you think, okay, this is exclusivity, luxury, this is, different attributes that say this is what this means. And I think culture and wearing your cultural wear has and should have the same effect. And you also get to curate what that message is, and I think being a Hebrew, and I'm saying we because it isn't like a y'all, it's a we thing. We get lost and trying to look like everybody else, trying to just blend in because it's easier. It takes away the responsibility that we think we have, and we think hiding behind clothes is going to take away the responsibility that we have, and it doesn't. But when we do wear our culture, everybody could say how proud they are, when you have people who look up to you and go, oh man, what's that? What you wearing? And you're like, oh yeah, it's my traditional wear. Like, oh man, where you from? Like, it opens so many doors of different conversations that you didn't even know you wanted to have. But that all comes from just people seeing you wearing your kippah. Like, people walk up to me all the time, man, where you get that kippah from? Oh, what's on your head? Is that a kippah? I'm like, yeah, that's a kippah, blah, 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 my culture, nah. And then you got full culture, we got our fringes and quarters, blue, kippah, the whole shebang. People like, yo, who is this man? Who is this guy? He's not from around here. What message is he carrying? And people listen to you. People pull up to you like, oh man, what this guy talking about? Oh, you vegan? Oh, you from the village of peace? Oh, you a Hebrew? How is that different from Jews? How is that different from Christian? Like, you open up all these doors from just putting on some culture. And when people see you wearing a kippah or you wearing some culture, there should be attributes like, this is a man you can trust. This is a woman you can trust. This is somebody who has honor. This is someone who has, dignity, accountability, respect. This is somebody you should watch how you talk to around because they just won't let you say anything. And I think that's a power that you can just get from wearing clothes. You haven't even opened your mouth. And people see that and go, ah, yeah, those are brothers and sisters from the village of peace, from the kingdom of Yah. And I think that's a certain power, just like in the name. But this is before you even get to the name. This is when I see you, because I know you got a name. I know you got it. You want your culture. People pull up with you like, oh yeah, I know his name is Matt with a crazy meaning. People ask me, oh, what's your name? My name is Yatziliel. People like, what that mean? Oh, where that's from? Something exotic. It's like, nah, it's a little exotic, your boy a little exotic, pause. But it shows you that there's power, and you can tap into that power just in what you wear and express that power and show people like, hey, you can tap into this power too. I have an argument for no. This is where things get tricky, because you got people who wear the whole shebang and they'll be doing nothing with their life. They some of the wicked people you ever meet. Full culture. Some people you wouldn't be your sister with for an hour. Full culture. Yakai every day. Full culture. You see them, oh yeah, they're Hebrew Israelite, they'll do you dirtier than somebody you don't even know. Full culture. And it also goes into the fact that there's people who don't wear culture who make moves for the cause, for the kingdom goals. Right? They ain't necessarily wearing all culture, They in a tie and super suit, whatever. But they making moves. They doing what they need to do to push the kingdom forward. But you also on the opposite end got people who are wearing culture every day and aren't doing nothing. Get people in a crowd talking about, oh, leadership this, leadership that, oh, the kingdom this, the kingdom that. Full culture, keep everything, full suit, ain't doing nothing with their life. And personally, I respect the person who not wearing culture, but they getting up every day making something happen, rather than a person in full culture talking about, yeah, man, the kingdom, it ain't what it used to be. Do something about it. And so I ain't got no respect for that person. I mean, sure, you wear your culture and everything looking nice, and you come to New York, you come to Yom Kareem, you come to every blue, black, gold, gray affair. I mean, you got too many affairs going on. But you go to all of these events wearing full culture, ain't doing nothing with your life. But you got the person who don't come to these events, who isn't necessarily wearing all the culture and this and that, and you wouldn't look at them and think, oh yeah, they a part of the community, all that stuff. But they making moves, man. They the people out there spreading the word or being a representation of what that word is. And I would rather not know who you are, not be able to identify you, but knowing you making those kind of moves. Then see you come a mile away, and when you get up here, I'm just like, oh great, you're useless. You ain't about nothing. And sometimes I see people and I'm just like, why couldn't you implement some type of culture in there? And I think that's just my own opinion, because even when I'm out or whatever, I try to put a little something on it. If it's a kippah, even if it's just some fringes and quartz of blue, just to represent, like, hey man, I'm representing my team. And I try to do that at different levels. Of course, when you move more officially, more diplomatically, whatever, then you try to represent to the highest that you can. But on a day-to-day, I think having some type of implementation of, hey, this is the team I play for, is good. But also, I just thought about this. Culture isn't necessarily everything that you can see. It's a feeling, it's a vibe, it's a frequency. You ain't gotta necessarily be wearing your kippah to start talking to somebody like Yataliel and think, oh man, who is that guy? That's culture. That's culture. That's upbringing. That's how you see people nowadays, they got on home training. I don't necessarily have to see you. I can hear you talking and think you ain't got no home training. I ain't gotta see you. I can hear you and think you ain't got no home training. For sure. No home training. And I think wearing culture isn't necessarily all the physical stuff. It's the mental, it's the spiritual, it's the emotional culture, spiritual culture, mental culture. Because I don't necessarily have to see you, but I know when this person open their mouth, only Yah's words is coming out. When they speak, you listen and you go, wow, man, that's culture. Just when you got the person who wearing full culture, open their mouth and you're just like, this fool ain't got no Yah, like we say. And you hear people talking, full culture, he's like, you're an idiot. No culture, wow, that's something to think about. And so I've met a lot of people who ain't necessarily wearing culture every day, all the time, blah, blah, blah. You hear them talking, you think, that's something to think about, that's some food for thought. And so there is this duality in wearing culture and not doing nothing, and wearing culture and doing something, and finding that in between, finding that balance on the individual level. I think that's a part of the spiritual journey. I think that's a part of the journey everybody goes through, and I don't think being a Hebrew takes that journey away from you. I think that's a human journey. I was listening to somebody, a community member. I'm not gonna say their names, but they in the U.S. and they was doing some content. I was like, oh, lovely. And I heard him like how he introduced himself. I thought, who is that? I mean, because what he was wearing wasn't no indication of who he was. And then when he introduced himself, I thought, so there's no physical, mental, spiritual, emotional indication of who this person is and what team they play for. And I thought that's interesting. Because even when I wasn't necessarily wearing culture, I would introduce myself, hey, I'm Yatiliel. And I remember like my father's name, the name he was given at birth is Anthony. And I remember telling somebody once my name was Anthony a few times, to be honest, just to get out of having that conversation of, I don't care. Like, I'm not about to sit here and have a 50-minute conversation with you. I don't necessarily care about you like that. And it came to a point where I realized it's not about you. It's not necessarily about me. It's about the respect that I have to give to my family, to my community, to the creator, that it's not. Big man, my name is a tie to all of those people. And for me to give a different name will be disrespecting everybody at every level. And I'm just not about to do that. And so nowadays when I see people and I'm meeting people, business, whatever, and they ask me, oh, what's your name? I say, my name is Yatiliel. And they're like, oh, you have a short name? No. Do you have a different name? No. Can I call you? No. Call me by my name or don't call me at all. And it's that simple. But it's not because I'm trying to be deep. It's because my name has ties. That's that culture. That's wearing culture. My name is a part of that culture. And I think when you start to give these different derivatives, you start to lessen the significance of what it is that you're saying. And so when you're talking about, oh, can I get some water? And someone like, can I give you some juice? No, I asked for water. You say, oh, it's the same thing. No, it's not. But it's the same thing with names. It's the same thing with names. Names have power. Words have power. And the name is what's given to you. It's the attributes that you have. That's why you can't just call anybody anything. People get offended. Oh, you call me a dog. My name is not dog. Great. My name is Yatiliel. Call me Yatiliel. Because that's the significance. There's significance in that name because there's attributes that come along with that name. And then that tied in with my culture, with my family. Big man. My culture. And so I think there's many ways of wearing culture, and I think we get so focused on the physical. We get so caught up on the things that we can see, we don't really dive deep into that mental culture, that emotional culture, that spiritual culture, because those are real things. And I don't think you can separate them like that. Or like, oh yeah, he wearing his culture, so that's good enough. No, it's not. And we have to stop letting the bare minimum be the standard. I remember something my Abba would tell me, something my dad would tell me in Israel, Yohanatan, shout out to you, my boy. He's telling me, you don't get applause for doing things you need to be doing. You don't get extra credit. You don't get applause for doing the standard. No, you get applause for, going above and beyond. But then above and beyond should be the standard. And so a lot of times we get so caught up in, man, you wearing culture, they came with that culture. What they talking about though? What they doing with their life on a day-to-day basis, what they doing? Because I don't care if you're wearing culture or not. I don't. What you doing with yourself every single day? Are you getting up? Are you working out? Are you putting the kingdom of Yah at the forefront of your mentality of how I'm going to push this thing forward? And I'm not talking about, going to the Mizno, going to the, nah. Find that thing that you're good at. That thing that you love to do, And then see how you can put the kingdom values at the core of that and take it to the next level. Like, people say what they want, man, but I love Naor, man. Like, that guy, I love that guy. Shout out to you, Naor. And the reason I do is because he's found this craft that I've seen even when I was in high school. We was in school together for a while. But I've seen him like hone his craft, and he just taking it, and the way he expresses everything through dance, and the way the kingdom gets to experience that is something else, man. And you see him bring in community members, other dancers, and he represents the kingdom, I would say, in wearing culture, but not just the wearing. It's the mental culture, the spiritual culture, the emotional culture. And of course he's not perfect, because who wants to be? That's pretty boring. So his ups and downs, his challenges, his journey, I respect it because it didn't stop him from doing what he needed to do. And so a little shout out to Nahor. But we have to wear more culture than just the physical. The physical is just the first step. Now we get so caught up on these first steps, like, oh yeah, we vegans and we eat this. It's like, ooh, what's next? Like, we've conquered A, let's get to B. We can't get so caught up on A. We can't get so caught up on the physical culture. Okay, but what's the other stuff like? We can't get so caught up on, oh, this is what we do, this is what we don't do. Okay, what's next? How do we take the things that we do and push it forward? How do we advance what we know now and take it to the next level? But we can't get so caught up. It's the Willie Lynch thing. We fall victim to the Willie Lynch thing, where it's black against white, young against old, wearing culture versus no wearing culture. Oh, you born in the kingdom versus you came into the kingdom. Yo, we getting so caught up on the little stuff. It's the little stuff that always gets you. It's those little things you get so caught up on. Oh, I wanted to go left, but then we went left, right. Shut up. If left is the direction we need to go in, let's go left. Who said let's go left shouldn't be an argument. I don't care. If left is right, let's go left. It's that simple. And we can't get so caught up on wearing culture, who's not wearing culture. But there should be a standard. There's wearing full culture. There's wearing just, aspects of your culture. Like, I don't come to work every day and, full culture. I have my kippah. I don't have it on now, but I have my kippah with me. And when I'm going out, I try to at least have some part of my outfit that's wearing some culture. And I've chosen the kippah because, I got long hair, It just makes sense to me. But we can't get so caught up on, oh, this person is wearing culture, they not in the kingdom, they not this, they not that. Like, we can't get so caught up on those things. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on wearing culture. Let me know if you guys feel the same, if you have a different take on wearing culture, and put it in the comments. And if you like these kind of videos, give this video a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I look forward to interacting with more people outside of myself. I'm so sad. Help. Blink twice. All right, y'all. Stupid. Have a y'all blessed day. Y'all Kai.